Ladies and gentlemen, Senior Vice President and General Counsel and Secretary of New York University, S. Andrew Schaefer.
Here now, in the presence of candidates for academic recognition, members of the faculty and administration, alumni, trustees, honored guests, and friends of New York University, the 172nd commencement is hereby convened.
In following tradition, we now invite the alumni, faculty, and student banner bearers to join the platform party on the stage.
Okay, go on in. Hey, John.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and join the Collaborative Arts Project 21 in the singing of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of New York University, Martin Lipton.
Well, welcome on behalf of the trustees of the university, and congratulations to our graduates and their parents, friends, relatives. We're going to confer close to 12,000 degrees today. And 12,000 of you will enter into the life of the city and the nation armed with a degree from New York University. To contribute in the fields of education and medicine, law, the arts, the performing arts, business, government, as you heard, this is the 172nd commencement. The 172nd commencement of a university that was founded 173 years ago by Albert Gallatin, who had returned to New York from his service as Secretary of the Treasury, and together with some colleagues formed this university to provide an education to people who otherwise were not able to achieve one. And for 173 years, dedicated trustees and dedicated members of the faculty have provided that opportunity for students at this university, and you are the most recent class to benefit from those efforts. When you think about it, it's quite a contribution for people over 173 years with nothing to gain but the feeling that they have done something in the interest of society to provide this type of opportunity. Today, we honor not only you, our graduates, but we honor 7 people who have made a magnificent contribution, an extraordinary contribution to this university, an extraordinary contribution to New York City, and an extraordinary contribution to the welfare of the world. It is indeed not just that we are honoring them, but they honor us by accepting an honor from us. We wish you the very best, all of you. Good luck and Godspeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, member of the Board of Trustees and chair of the Committee on Alumni Affairs and University Life, H. Dale Hemmerdinger.
Congratulations! You made it! You are terrific! At commencement, a few years ago, a member of the graduating class shared with us a bit of West African wisdom I want to pass on to all of you. A society grows great when men and women plant trees under whose shade they know they will never sit. Take a moment, appreciate this beautiful park we sit in, and let it remind us of the contributions made by those who graduated before us. We are the beneficiaries of their generosity, which has enriched and expanded our university experience and our lives. The alumni of New York University salute you and welcome you into our ranks, certain that the seeds you plant will be significant for those generations of NYU students who will come after you. On behalf of everyone here, I want to thank the NYU Alumni Association, so ably led by its president, Tom Weissmiller, for its many, many vital contributions. The foundation of any great university is its alumni. And in just a matter of moments, all of you will be alumni too. Yes. I urge you to stay connected. Join the recent alumni network, a vibrant, dedicated, and enthusiastic group who will help you maintain your ties with each other, to our school, and to our alumni already making their way in this world. Contribute your energy and your talent to them and to the tasks that lie ahead. And I promise you, it feels wonderful. With your help, and led by our extraordinary president, John Sexton, we will continue to build a marvelous foundation and make NYU the greatest school in the world if we aren't already. Let us now recognize those very special NYU graduates who you saw marching into the park during the procession, all of whom are celebrating important class anniversaries this year. We begin with the tradition of saluting the representative of the earliest decade attending this commencement. This alumnus came from California just to be here today, and by doing so fulfilled a dream. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Stanley Block, a graduate of University College, now known as the College of Arts and Science, class of 1927. Mr. Block, stand and be recognized. Let us also pay tribute to those graduates who are celebrating their special class anniversaries. These are the alumni who have graduated more than 50 years ago or are members of the Golden Anniversary Class of 1954. Let us also salute the members of the Society of the Torch, whom we recognize for their great, steadfast support of this university. Will all of those alumni who have returned to our alma mater today please stand and be recognized?
I would like now to ask Trustee Lawrence Fink to escort the 2004 Albert Gallatin medalist to the lectern. Would Chairman Martin Lipton join President Sexton for the presentation? Each year, the Albert Gallatin Medal is bestowed on a graduate, honorary alumnus or alumna, or member of the university family who has made an outstanding contribution to society. New York University today honors Kenneth G. Langone, entrepreneur extraordinaire, esteemed philanthropist, and exemplary university citizen. Kenneth Langone has achieved excellence in all of his many academic and professional endeavors. Mr. Langone earned his MBA in 1960 from NYU's Graduate School of Business Administration evening program, now named in his honor the Langone Program, a part-time MBA for working professionals. An energetic entrepreneur, Mr. Langone is an acknowledged authority in the fields of brokerage and investment banking, and he has been the mastermind behind a series of successful business investments. A trustee of New York University since 1997, Mr. Langone is the chairman of the boards of trustees of the NYU School of Medicine Foundation and the NYU Hospital Center, as well as the vice chairman of the Leonard N. Stern School of Business Board of Overseers. He stands among the most generous benefactors to the NYU School of Medicine in its 163-year history, and has demonstrated an exemplary commitment to the Leonard N. Stern School of Business as well. In recognition of his business acumen, his unwavering commitment to this institution, and his philanthropic legacy, New York University is honored to present the Albert Gallatin Medal to Kenneth G. Langone. I would like now to ask Trustee Larry A. Silverstein to escort the 2004 recipient of the Lewis Rudin Award to the lectern. Would Chairman Martin Lipton join President Sexton for the presentation? The Rudin Award is presented to an individual whose exemplary achievements in the public realm reflect and advance the extraordinary spirit of Louis Rudin, quintessential New Yorker, distinguished alumnus, valued trustee, and devoted friend of New York University.
Billy Tisch, you are a devoted New Yorker who has made an extraordinary contribution to this great city. You have displayed impressive leadership, intelligence, and charisma in your work in New York City Public Radio and your commitment to so many of New York City's charitable endeavors. You have advanced the quality of life for all New Yorkers. Your lifelong interest in Jewish philanthropy in New York, in Israel, and around the globe has inspired you to lead and support humanitarian causes. For your vital role in the shaping of New York City and your astounding commitment to public service in higher education, social service, and Jewish affairs, New York University is proud to present you with the Louis Rudin Award for exemplary service to New York City.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mary M. Braybeck, Dean of the Steinhardt School of Education.
Mr. President, trustees, graduates, faculty, alumni, and honored guests. Today's student speaker is Keisha Lindsay, who is receiving her Bachelor of Science degree, summa cum laude, from the Steinhardt School of Education. An NYU Martin Luther King Jr. Scholar and a Bill and Melinda Gates Millennium Scholar, and previously a Toyota Community Scholar, Keisha Lindsay has approached her studies with intelligence, passion, and integrity. A speech pathology student with a minor in education, she has worked as a student teacher in PS 140 in Manhattan and provided speech therapy to elementary and junior high school students. As a teacher, it has been Keisha's desire, in her words, to help children find the space and chance to learn, to experience, and to dream. In her 4 years at New York University, Keisha has become a student of the world, traveling to Italy, West Africa, and most recently Brazil, where she did a cross-cultural study of the street children of Bahia. She is also a student of our global city, New York. Whether she is working in the kitchen of God's Love We Deliver, preparing food for AIDS patients, or serving as Vice President of Friends for Life, an organization dedicated to children with cancer, Keisha exemplifies the mission of the Steinhardt School of Education by challenging conventions, redefining the educational process, and leading in a dynamic, changing world. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and my honor to introduce the class of 2004's student speaker, Keisha Lindsay.
Thank you, Dean Brayback. President Sexton, honored guests, members of the Board of Trustees, deans, faculty, alumni, family, and friends, on behalf of the dynamic class of 2004, I welcome you. Graduates, it is an honor and pleasure to represent you, a dynamic class of scholars and creators, thinkers and doers. During the last 4 years, I have often wondered about this day. What would it be like? How would I feel? Recently, though, I have come to realize that today is not only our own day of pride and a symbol of our dreams fulfilled, but certainly a day of pride for those who have moved us to this moment. Our teachers and advisors, our classmates, and most especially our parents, grandparents, other family members, and friends. What you see here today, spread before you, over 12,000 graduates resplendent in their violet robes, is one giant thank you card, expressing our gratitude for your love and support. It is not for me to stand before you today and tell you about your unforgettable moments here at NYU, or lessons learned, or the next stage of your life. You know these things already. I do want to leave you with something, though, and as a trained educator, I thought, what could be more appropriate than leaving you with an assignment? It's not over. There is no due date, but there is one requirement. We are to do this wholeheartedly and with good intentions. So, class of 2004, here it is. The great poet Maya Angelou, addressing another commencement ceremony, urged the graduates before her who were leaving a place of learning and growth to see themselves as rainbows. This is the image I pass on to you today, our assignment for the future. Regardless of our fields of study, each and every one of us in this sea of purple need to become rainbows, entering the dark and cloudy places of our world to shine our own lights, inject our ideas, and lend our experiences. And we can do this in our own ways. Students from the College of Arts and Science, and the Graduate School of Arts and Science, bring your research and rigorous thinking, not just to the classrooms of the privileged, but to the less fortunate in our city and beyond, bestowing the gifts of knowledge that you have gained. Students from the schools of medicine, dentistry, and law. Law, where are you? There we go. As you enter your respected fields, your assignment is to ensure that every man, woman, and child can gain access to the care that you provide, making our world not only healthier, but a more just and fair one as well. Go into your communities as role models, letting children from all walks of life know that they too can aspire and succeed. Students from Wagner and the School of Social Work, There are so many who need the help that you provide in order to lead better lives. I urge you to keep giving your gift of respect and love for humanity to all. Students from Stern. You may be among those who will have the wherewithal to pay the way for someone else. But realize that this is by no means the assignment. Yes, if you can, give freely, but also remember to give your time and your heart to those around you. Gallatin graduates. Show the world that, like the ways in which you have so perfectly meshed your fields of study, we can all come together to work, to reflect, and to enjoy. May your effects on this world be as varied as are your interests. Students from the School of Continuing and Professional Studies. You embody our founders' dreams of being in and of the city. Remain a vital source of energy for your professions and continue to infuse our metropolis with your drive and passion, making it a model for the world. Tisch students. Your performances and creations are not simply an expression of yourselves, but of the society in which you live. Remember how and where you started, the person that first saw your talent, and return the favor to the many aspiring students and scholars like yourselves around our globe. I urge you to be their voice until they can find their own. And to my beloved Steinhardt classmates, may the human services we provide through education, healing, and the arts touch the lives of many. And by our example and practice, may we embody the true meaning of leaving none of our children behind. Class of 2004, may these assignments become the promise of our lives. I congratulate you on your magnificent accomplishments and wish you the very best as you continue your life's journey. I am proud to be one of you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, those who are to receive honorary degrees will now be presented to President Sexton. The Secretary of the University will call upon distinguished members of the university community to present and escort the honorary degree candidates. Assisting with the investiture will be Provost David W. McLaughlin.
Mr. President, I should like to introduce Farhad Kazemi, Professor of Politics and Middle Eastern Studies, Faculty of Arts and Science, who will present the candidate for Doctor of Humane Letters. Will Trustee Lillian Vernon please escort the candidate to the lectern?
C. Duncan Rice, son of Aberdeen. You are principal and vice-chancellor of its great university, fifth oldest in the United Kingdom, from which you took a first in history and where you lectured before earning your doctorate from the University of Edinburgh and leaving Scotland for these United States. Professor of history at Yale University, professor and dean at Hamilton College, you then became a propulsive force behind NYU's remarkable academic ascent of the last 2 decades. From the mid-1980s to mid-1990s, as our former dean of the Faculty of Arts and Science and then university vice-chancellor, you shaped and enhanced our academic core by the significant expansion of the Arts and Science faculty and the establishment of a major research presence in the natural sciences. You helped NYU wrap itself around the globe and were instrumental in building the League of World Universities and in developing our presence at Villa La Pietra. Now you engage your keen intellect and prodigious energy to ensure that the University of Aberdeen remains one of the strongest research and learning communities in Britain.
C. Duncan Rice, bold architect of academic initiatives and renowned university statesman. You have built a lasting bridge of mutual esteem between two of the world's foremost universities that bear the names of great cities in which they thrive. By virtue of the authority vested in me, and with the deep gratitude of this university for all you did for us while you were here, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Mr. President, I should like to introduce Thomas F. Cooley, Dean of the Leonard N. Stern School of Business, who will present the candidate for Doctor of Commercial Science. Will Trustee William R. Berkeley please escort the candidate to the lectern?
Tatsuro Toyoda, Chairman of the Toyota Foundation and Senior Advisor to Toyota Motor Corporation, yours has been a remarkable career in global business. Joining Toyota in 1953, rising through the ranks, you succeeded your older brother in 1992 as president of the company. A graduate of Tokyo University and our own Leonard N. Stern School of Business, you worked closely with our renowned professor, W. Edwards Deming, at New York University, and later in Japan, where you applied his total quality management techniques in the impressive growth of the Japanese economy. You were key to a joint venture by Toyota with General Motors that introduced a new cooperative style of labor management based on your extensive knowledge of both cultures. Past chairman of the Japanese Automobile Manufacturers Association, you have received high honors from the governments of Japan, Brazil, and Denmark. In tribute to your mentor and your alma mater, you helped create the W. Edwards Deming Chair at Stern. Now, as head of the Toyota Foundation, you direct millions of dollars in support of greater human fulfillment and a more humane society.
Tatsuro Toyoda, proud alumnus of our Stern School, Business pioneer, generous benefactor, you have been a transforming leader in Japan's great automotive industry for nearly half a century. By virtue of the authority vested in me by New York University, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Commercial Science, honoris causa.
Mr. President, I should like to introduce Marissa Carrasco, Professor of Psychology and Chair of the Department of Psychology, Faculty of Arts and Science, who will present the candidate for Doctor of Humane Letters. Will Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Martin Lipton, please escort the candidate to the lectern?
Judith Rodin, first woman to be president of an Ivy League institution and first alumna of the University of Pennsylvania to be its president. You have guided your university through a period of unprecedented growth and excellence. Among the milestones of your decade-long tenure are transforming Penn's academic core, doubling its research funding, launching an acclaimed neighborhood revitalization program, attracting record numbers of undergraduate applicants, and tripling both the university's annual fundraising and endowment. Your presidency has also marked the largest capital construction in Penn's history. You returned to your alma mater after 22 years of accomplishment at Yale University, where you were professor, chair, dean, and provost, having begun your career as assistant professor of psychology at New York University. An accomplished scholar, you hold faculty appointments in psychology as well as in medicine and psychiatry. Renowned for your work on the relationship between psychological and biological processes in human health and behavior. You are widely published in your field and a member of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, the American Philosophical Society, and the Institute of Medicine of the National Academy of Sciences.
Judith Rodin, path-breaking academic leader. You have led Penn to extraordinary levels of achievement, and you have set the gold standard for university presidents. By virtue of the authority vested in me, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Mr. President, I should like to introduce Stephen Holmes, Walter E. Meyer Professor of Law, School of Law, who will present the candidate for Doctor of Laws. Will Trustee Jay Furman please escort the candidate to the lectern?
Mohamed El-Baradei, Director General of the United Nations International Atomic Energy Agency, you lead the world's preeminent forum for scientific and technical cooperation in the peaceful use of nuclear technology. You earned law degrees from the University of Cairo and from New York University, where you also joined us as Professor of International Law. You began your distinguished career as a diplomat in the Egyptian Diplomatic Service, serving on 2 occasions in the permanent missions of Egypt to the United Nations in New York and Geneva. You were also senior fellow in charge of the International Law Program at the United Nations Institute for Training and Research. Since 1984, you have been a senior member of the IAEA Secretariat and you now lead that team of over 2,000 multidisciplinary, professional, and support staff from more than 90 countries. Your deft powers of negotiation have been key to persuading scores of countries to sign additional protocols to their safeguards agreements with the IAEA. Your energy and your dedication have recently been instrumental in reaching consensus on a plan to resolve outstanding issues regarding the verification of Iran's nuclear program. Through your strong and courageous leadership, you offer us hope that our civilization might be the first to lay down voluntarily its most powerful weapons.
Mohamed El-Baradei, alumnus, diplomat, international civil servant, peace seeker. Your constituency is the world. Your purpose, its preservation. By virtue of the authority vested in me, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
Mr. President, I should like to introduce Sharon L. Weinberg, Professor of Educational Statistics and Psychology, Steinhardt School of Education, and Vice Provost for Faculty Affairs, who will present the candidate for Doctor of Commercial Science. Will Trustee Joel E. Smilo please escort the candidate to the lectern?
Richard D. Parsons, Chairman of the Board and Chief Executive Officer of Time Warner, Inc., you head the largest media and entertainment corporation in the world. Serving first as President, then Co-Chief Operating Officer, and now Chairman and CEO, you exert bold and creative leadership over a host of media assets that reach literally billions of people. You are admired by your colleagues, who describe you as a persuader, a diplomat, a mensch, and the most decisive and capable executive in your field. You finished first in your class at Albany Law School, served as counsel for Governor Nelson Rockefeller, and as a senior White House aide under President Gerald Ford. You were managing partner of Patterson, Belknap, Webb, and Tyler. At the helm of the Dime Savings Bank of New York, you masterminded a merger with Anchor Savings Bank to create the fourth largest thrift institution in the nation with assets worth $20 billion. A committed, a passionate New Yorker, you serve on numerous boards and civic organizations and are chairman of the Apollo Theater Foundation. A proud son of our great city, your heart never strays far from New York.
Richard D. Parsons, public servant, attorney, corporate giant, and mensch. You have brought your considerable talents to bear in the fields of government, law, and business. This city and this university are grateful to you. By virtue of the authority vested in me, I'm pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Commercial Science, honoris causa. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to ask Richard Parsons to respond on behalf of the honorary degree recipients.
Thank you. President Sexton, members of the faculty, distinguished guests, graduates of the class of 2004, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of myself and my fellow honorary degree recipients, thank you for allowing us to be a part of your very special day. while we have been spared a few of the smaller trivial details like tuition and lectures and exams, we are as excited as you are to receive a degree from this great university at the heart of the most diverse and vibrant city in the world. Now, I have been advised that the tradition at NYU commencements is that I should talk for no more than 5 minutes. Actually, on the way out here, the president said to me, "You don't even need to take all 5." But I intend to be brief. And it's okay to be brief because having done this before, having sat where you sat on several occasions and stood behind a podium like this before, I know that nothing that I'm going to say today is actually going to add to or subtract from what you've already achieved at this fine institution. Nevertheless, it is custom that I at least try to offer some departing bit of wisdom. And so let me make 2 very brief observations based on my own experience, which I hope at some point down the line you might reflect upon. The first is, if you want fulfillment as well as employment, do something you're passionate about. It took me a while to grasp that truth. You know, I'd always been told that hard work never killed anybody, but frankly, my view was, why take a chance? It wasn't until I became a practicing lawyer that I discovered the difference it makes when your mind and your imagination are engaged by a task. How, when you love what you do, work becomes something to be enjoyed rather than something to be endured. So, to those of you who've found your passion, congratulations. To those of you who haven't, don't stop looking until you do. The second observation, I think that's good. Second observation I would make is, if you want to be remembered for more than the size of your income or the square footage of your living space, seek to serve some good other than your own. You know, as I stand here this morning in this citadel of higher learning, I am mindful of the fact that some 50 years ago, almost to the day, the United States Supreme Court handed down what must be one of its 2 or 3 most significant decisions in its 200-year-plus history. The decision was Brown versus Board of Education. That case, as I'm sure all of you know, struck down racial apartheid in American education. It was the product of years of hard work by a small band of courageous citizens who committed themselves to the ideal that equal justice under law was attainable for all Americans, regardless of race or creed. They stuck to their guns, and they changed the course of this country. As graduates of the most prestigious urban university in America, you will all be leaders of our country in the years to come. The question I ask you always to ask yourselves is, will those who gather here 50 years from now remember our courage and our commitment? Will they recall what we did to set or keep our nation and our world on a better course? Will they be able to say of us that along with seeking improvement in our own lives, we were able to join hands to help those less fortunate than ours? If the answer to these questions is yes, you will have proven yourselves worthy of the education you received here at NYU. And for all of our sakes, I hope the answer is yes. In closing, let me say congratulations to you on what you've accomplished, and good luck to all of you as you turn to the next chapter of your lives. Give them hell.
Thank you, Dr. Parsons, and would you please join me in saluting all of our honorary degree recipients and award winners. Ladies and gentlemen, today we convene to sacramentalize a moment meaningful personally for each graduate and collectively for the entire NYU community. A rite of passage celebrating the next infusion of talent, knowledge, commitment, and energy from NYU into the world. We say to the world, take this wonderful gift from our university. Ladies and gentlemen, please salute the class of 2004. As we salute, let us also salute those who made this moment in their lives possible, their parents, their families, and their friends. Graduates, make a memory of today and note carefully how you absorb the memory. You and those who have sustained you along the way experience today in linear time. You remember a past that brought you here, a past filled with effort, achievement, and friendship. You experience a presence filled with joy, but a joy tempered by the unknowability of a future full of promise and challenges. Those of us who will remain here, on the other hand, those of us who have dedicated our lives not only to you, but also to your predecessors and to your successors, we experience this day in a different way. Even as we share your individual moment in linear time, we sense the cyclical nature of the lives we lead and share with the university, class after class, taking the same path, decade after decade. On an occasion like this, we realize that we professors are more like farmers than we seem to be, living in recurring seasons of generation, and that you, our students, and what you achieve after you leave us are a large part of what brings value and fulfillment to what we do. As we honor you, I hope you will cast loving thought in the direction of faculty and staff, teachers and mentors who have worked with you over the years and who have nurtured your passion for knowledge. Collectively, they comprise what attracted you to this wonderful place, a university marked by a restless quest for excellence, an openness to new ideas and new experiences, one that drives our demand for constant progress. Such is NYU's institutional DNA, a university in and of the greatest of cities, making us truly the New York University. This is both our essential nature and our locational endowment, and we live its benefits. Our classrooms and our laboratories are not just in here, but out there in this unique city with its richness of life and its matchless mosaic of culture, commerce, and community. You have learned on one of the great human stages in the world's first glocal city, global and local simultaneously. If you need proof, consider this. Of the 199 countries represented at the last Olympics, 188 of those countries are represented in the New York City public school system by children who were born in those countries. NYU embraces this glocal environment, and we mirror it deliberately in our curriculum, our faculty, and in you, our students. Look around you at the flags on this commencement stage. There is at least one citizen in your graduating class from each of the countries represented by those flags, 160 flags in all. Your years here at this university and in this city have prepared you in a special way for the years ahead, an era in which the human race will confront the reality of a great world made small, with differences of all kinds, cultural, political, social, religious, pressing upon us. You have been equipped to celebrate those differences and draw strength from them, to understand and deal with dimensions of human experience once so removed that we did not even see them, but now so much a part of our world that they are pressed upon us every day in headlines. What is remarkable about your time at NYU is that it has offered immersion in the extraordinary laboratory of New York alongside full engagement in a great research university. From freshman seminars to advanced work on doctoral dissertations, from exploring the frontiers of mathematics to making award-winning films, you have been involved in the process of creating knowledge as well as accumulating it. Even as you have learned the life of a citizen in the globalized world, you have been part of the powerful engine of human progress called the Research University. Do not forget that special dimension of your time here. As you now leave this place, we call upon you to be aware that the venture of knowledge and institutions of this kind are fragile and under attack, and we call upon you to help us preserve it. Understand the fragility of the research university's indispensable role in the pursuit of knowledge for its own sake. Each of our great research universities, to be true to itself, must be a sacred place for learning and discovery, unfettered by political agendas and powerful interest groups. And each of us, from the most distinguished professor to the youngest graduate, must be a defender of that sacred space. Increasingly today, forces outside our gates threaten the freedom of our campuses. The diversity of the global village that enriches us also activates pressures from all parts of the political spectrum to curtail what voices may be heard in our conversations, what research should be undertaken, what books should be written or classes taught. We are told to forego stem cell research or to achieve ideological quotas within our faculty. We must resist such mandates. The very idea of the research university is a rebuke to it, and we need your help in doing it. Harder to measure, but no less pernicious, we see in society a general devaluation of the search for knowledge advancement. We see it in a society which you should not join in its increasingly obsessive preoccupation with immediate and measurable returns. A significant part of the wealth of nations actually comes from the creation of new knowledge in basic research, in fields and disciplines that are the province of our research universities. One generally, but not completely celebrated source of the new knowledge is the basic research of scientists. But this is only a part of the story. The health of our society depends on our historians, our classicists, our philosophers, among others, who enrich our social discourse by bringing wisdom and insight from the ages to bear on current problems. And our ability to live full human lives is shaped by artists and poets whom we nurture on our campus. Even where the market value of this work is not obvious, its social value is inestimable. So, as you leave us, I ask you, the members of the class of 2004, not just as graduates, but as citizens, to heed a calling to safeguard this sacred space and spaces like it. Your lives, the future of your children, will be shaped by what happens in our universities and by the free thought and conversation and the fruits of learning and discovery that can and must flourish here and on every campus. Today, we proudly wish you well as you enter a world beyond our buildings that in so many ways has been your classroom. We foresee your achievements, your honors, your contributions, and the difference you will make. We also know that sometimes there will be setbacks along the way, perhaps even defeats. Either way, we hope that you will carry within you the indomitable spirit and commitment of NYU, that you will know that you are part of this community, even when you are not physically present in it. And in those moments when your spirits flag, we invite you to come home to NYU, to return physically to this place, to touch its ground, to sense its soul, to get a hug, and in doing, to recharge what has meant for you this experience. Know as well the importance to us, your teachers, of your returning again and again, the role you play in renewing and sustaining our vitality. You are the pride of our vocation. We want you to know what you have done, your dreams, and how you attain them is important to us. Your success is the measure of our success. Congratulations to you and your loved ones from the NYU family, the other family to which you now indelibly belong.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Collaborative Arts Project 21 will now perform a tribute to New York City and the graduates of 2004.
Exciting. I love New York. And there's no place like it. It's a wonderful town. NYC, what is it about you? You're big, you're loud, you're tough. Frankfurters answering back, brother, you know you're in NYC. Day by day, out of touch with the rhythm and blues. But now I need a little give and take. The New York Chinatown or on Riverside. I'm just taking a Greyhound on the Hudson River line. I'm in a New York state of mind. Take me back to Manhattan. I'll take a Manhattan. Take me back to New York. To see once more. Another 100 people just got on the train. My little home on the 100th floor. Down in the depths on the 90th floor. Wonder I'm in a New York state of mind. When I ride Washington Square, I race the east side, west side, all around the town. Half a block away from Zabar. North side, south side, and the battery's down. So take me back to Manhattan,
I would now ask the deans of New York University to present the candidates for all degrees and certificates.
Matthew S. Santarocco, Dean of the College of Arts and Science.
President Sexton, on behalf of the College of Arts and Science, the founding school of New York University, I am honored to present to you the 2,106 members of the wonderful, magnificent, spectacular class of 2004. They have successfully completed the rigorous requirements for the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees, and their liberal arts education has equipped them to assume positions of leadership in the 21st century. I have the pleasure of introducing to you the individual who will receive her Bachelor of Arts diploma on behalf of all her fellow graduates in the college, Tanaz Mogadam.
Wave to them, wave to them.
Richard L. Revez, Dean of the School of Law.
I congratulate the law school class of 2004. Your work will make a difference not only to the lives of your clients, but also to our nation and to the world. There are exciting challenges ahead for each of you. Mr. President, I have the honor to present the candidates from the School of Law. 442 candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor. 418 candidates for the degree of Master of Laws. And 5 candidates for the degree of Doctor of Juridical Science. Mr. President, I have the honor to present Joshua Kagan, who will receive his diploma on behalf of all the candidates for the Juris Doctor degree. And Mr. President, now I have the honor to present to you Leor Hendler, who will receive his diploma on behalf of all the candidates for the LLM and JSD degrees.
Robert M. Glickman. Dean of the School of Medicine. Before presenting the candidates to President Sexton, Dean Glickman will administer the oath of Hippocrates.
In our profession, it is a tradition established more than 2,000 years ago that one admitted to its privileges shall expressly take upon himself and herself its obligation. Now I therefore call upon you to hear and swear, as we have sworn before you, the oath which bears the name of Hippocrates. The language in which our predecessors first pronounced it is no longer spoken, but we have no nobler words than the most ancient in which to pass on the traditions of our calling. I shall now administer to you the Hippocratic Oath. You do solemnly swear by that which you hold most sacred, that you will be loyal to the profession of medicine and just and generous to its members. That you will lead your life and practice your art in uprightness and honor. That into whatsoever house you shall enter, it shall be for the good of the sick, to the utmost of your power, you holding yourself aloof from wrong, from corruption, from the tempting of others to vice. That you will exercise your art solely for the cure of your patients, and will give no drug, perform no operation for a criminal purpose, even if it's solicited, far less suggested. That whatsoever you shall hear or see in the lives of men and women, which is not fitting to be spoken, you will keep inviolably secret. These things you do promise. Let each one bow his and her head in a sign of acquiescence. And now, if you will be true to this, your oath, may happiness and good repute ever be yours. The opposite, if you shall prove yourself forsworn. Congratulations. Mr. President, in the presence of the prestigious academic community of our university, their fellow graduates, their parents, spouses, relatives, and friends, the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Medicine have accepted the awesome responsibility for the health of their fellow humans. Mr. President, the 165 candidates for the degree of Doctor of Medicine who have completed with distinction the rigorous and demanding educational and training programs of our School of Medicine stand before you. They are highly qualified to accept the responsibility of our profession. As Dean of the School of Medicine, I am happy to present these outstanding men and women, the future leaders of our profession, for conferment of their degree of Doctor of Medicine. I present Mark Supino, who will receive the diploma symbolically on behalf of our graduates. Congratulations, and be seated.
Michael C. Alfano, Dean of the College of Dentistry.
Mr. President, it's hot today, but it's not as hot as the NYU College of Dentistry. Our graduates can not only beautify you with their artistic skills in an extreme makeover in Manhattan, but they can inspire you with their community service in a crowded clinic in Guyana. At this time, I present to you the candidates for the degree of Associate in Applied Science in the field of dental hygiene. These candidates are represented by Dragana Vicuña, who is honored to accept her diploma today. It is now my privilege to present to you the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree in Dental Health Education. I am pleased to introduce Ms. Andrea Abbott, who will receive her diploma on behalf of the Dental Health Education class. Next, I present to you Mr. Yves Jean, who has been selected by the faculty to receive the Master of Science in Clinical Research on behalf of his class. And it is my further honor to present to you the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Dental Surgery. These and all other degree candidates have been certified as competent by the faculty. Dr. Brandon Byung Kang is honored to accept this degree on behalf of the DDS class.
Catherine R. Stimson, Dean of the Graduate School of Arts and Science.
I am honored to represent the Graduate School of Arts and Science And if dentistry is hot, we are cool, very cool. President Sexton, I have the honor of giving to you, for their degrees, the Graduate School of Arts and Science, led into this park by Jessica Catalino of Anthropology. They will be the scholars, the researchers, teachers on the frontiers of knowledge for the next generation and generations to come. They will carry forth your vision of the university as sanctuary, and on them, consciousness and conscience will depend. And now, Nicole Marie Pizold, a joint degree of the Institute of French Studies in Journalism, representing the 930 winners of our Masters of Arts degree, our Masters of Science degree, and our Master of Fine Arts degree. And now, Mr. President, representing our 280 new Doctors of Philosophy, the crown jewel of academic degrees, may I present to you Chelsea Dvorak Specht, an evolutionary biologist.
Frederick D.S. Choi, Dean of the Leonard N. Stern School of Business, Undergraduate College.
Mr. President, it's my pleasure to present to you the 644 candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree in the Stern School of Business, Undergraduate College. They'll be the business leaders and entrepreneurs that will work with all of the talent gathered here to create many of the new products and the services that will make all of our lives that much more comfortable and financially secure. And they'll prove to be the most generous philanthropists of our time. And Mr. President, it's now my pleasure to present to you Mr. Ravi Mani, who received his degree on behalf of all his classmates at the Stern School.
Thomas F. Cooley, Dean of the Leonard N. Stern School of Business.
Mr. President, it's my great pleasure to present to you the 635 candidates for the Master of Business Administration degree. They come from more than 50 countries, and they are going to transform and lead the global economy in the decades ahead. On behalf of their classmates, I'm pleased to present to you Mr. Rama Akkaraju for the master's degree. And on behalf of the 20 candidates for the doctoral degree, it's my pleasure to present to you Gary Duzhnitsky.
David F. Finney, Dean of the School of Continuing and Professional Studies.
Mr. President, Gallatin founded this university in 1831 to be in and of this city. The School of Continuing and Professional Studies serves as NYU's principal bridge to the city, with over 50,000 New Yorkers each year gracing our classrooms. 5,000 of those students are enrolled in degree programs, and it is now my great pleasure, Mr. President, to present to you 1,442 exceptional students of the School of Continuing and Professional Studies, class of 2004. Many came to NYU to study alongside the SCPS scholars and working professionals that constitute our unique and excellent faculty. Many have completed their academic program while juggling full-time jobs and family responsibilities. Every member of this class has made the decision to carry academic and professional excellence to a higher level. They represent the future of New York's professions, its industry, and its scholarship. We are proud of every one of them. Mr. President, on behalf of all of our associate degree candidates, I am honored to present to you Barbara Head, who receives the Associate of Arts degree in Liberal Arts from the Paul McGee Division.
Wave to them, Bob.
On behalf of all of our bachelor degree candidates, I am honored to present to you David Wary, who receives the Bachelor of Science in Sports Management and Leisure Studies from the Preston Robert Tisch Center for Hospitality, Tourism, and Sports Management. And finally, Mr. President, on behalf of all of our master's degree candidates, I am honored to present to you John Earle, recipient of the Master of Science degree in Digital Imaging and Design from our Center for Advanced Digital Applications.
Ellen Schall, Dean of the Robert F. Wagner Graduate School of Public Service.
Mr. President, I am truly honored to present to you the stunning 2004 graduating class of the Robert F. Wagner Graduate School of Public Service, led into the park this morning by Robinson Hernandez. This class of 440 graduates has built a strong and sustaining community and demonstrated incredible commitment to public service. And on this day of celebration, we also celebrate a new home at the Puck, where they will be able to return to inform and influence the critical dialogue of public service. On behalf of our 431 master's degree candidates, I am honored to present Fumilayo Jack. Fumilayo, a native New Yorker, is an exemplar of our master's students, whom we treasure for the breadth of their interests and the depth of their passions. Mr. President, on behalf of our 9 doctoral degree candidates, I am privileged to present Dayop Kim. His dissertation work on urban school reform stands here for all our doctoral students who are committed to creating new knowledge that can help answer some of our world's most pressing social problems.
Suzanne England, Dean of the School of Social Work.
Mr. President, 439 candidates from the School of Social Work will receive their degrees here today. And at the School of Social Work, we are both hot and cool, but never lukewarm. They leave here today. They are the healers, the leaders, and the peacemakers. What would we do without them? Mr. President, I have the honor to present Brian P. Brady, who will receive his diploma on behalf of the 19 candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree. And now I have the honor to present Scott Adair Cox, who will receive his diploma on behalf of the 402 candidates for the Master of Social Work degree. Mr. President, I have the honor to present Susan Ann Conti, who will receive her diploma on behalf of the 18 candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree.
Mary Schmidt Campbell, Dean of the Tisch School of the Arts.
President Sexton, I present to you the Tisch School of the Arts class of 2004. These are the over 1,000 exciting, groundbreaking writers, dancers, actors, designers, choreographers, photographers, filmmakers, musical theater writers, composers, lyricists, and performers like the fabulous Cap 21 performers, interactive media artists, and scholars of performance and cinema studies. They will hold a mirror to the world to give us a glimpse of the human heart and the human spirit. President Sexton, I am pleased to present Sean Boyle of the Department of Dance, who will receive the Bachelor of Fine Arts degree on behalf of the undergraduates. President Sexton, I am pleased to present Mark Smolin of the Graduate Musical Theater Writing Program, who will receive the Master of Fine Arts degree on behalf of the graduate students.
E. Francis White, Dean of the Gallatin School of Individualized Study.
Mr. President, I am proud to represent here the school that carries the name of NYU's founder, the Gallatin School of Individualized Study, where students design a concentration from their passionate interest and combine this with reading significant text and great books. Representing the 446 BA graduates today is Malachi Black, with a concentration in literary studies. Representing our 107 MA graduates is Lizzie Buller, concentrating in theater, communication, and education.
Ladies and gentlemen, Provost David W. McLaughlin.
We now proceed to the formal conferral of degrees. In keeping with the tradition of New York University, we highlight this most important moment in our ceremony by the passing of the university torch, a symbol of learning, from the senior member of our academic community to the most junior. On stage now, holding the university torch, is Professor Roy Sparrow of the Robert F. Wagner Graduate School of Public Service. As President Sexton confers the degrees, the torch will be passed to the youngest member of the graduating class, Olga Bashkatova, Leonard N. Stern School of Business. May I ask all of the candidates for degrees and certificates to now rise for the conferring of the degrees in course by President Sexton.
Members of the class of 2004, through your successful efforts as certified by the recommendations of your deans, you have met the requirements of your respective schools and thus deserve to receive this hallmark of New York University. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of New York University, I admit you to the degrees and certificates for which you have been recommended.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join in the singing of the New York University alma mater. At the conclusion of the ceremony, degree candidates are reminded to remain in their seats until the procession has left the park.